Welcome to Mystic Traveler Tarot. Are you ready to unleash your power and take your destiny? So let the ancient wisdom of the tarot guide you on this journey. So let's walk together. Come walk with me to find out. So as I shuffle these cards, just think about your inner strength. Focus on your inner strength and your inner power while I shuffle these cards. So we will be picking 3 cards from this deck. We will be picking 3 cards from this deck. We'll be picking 3 cards from this deck. So focus on your inner strengths and personal power while I shuffle. And also intuit the decks and the cards for yourself. The first card is the High Priestess upside down. So in relation to self-mastery, I feel like you are giving your power out. The High Priestess, normally the High Priestess in the right side position, in the upright position, she is the knowledge and wisdom holder. She holds that inner wisdom, she holds that inner knowledge, she holds that inner truth. She holds, and it's number 2. So I feel in terms of this card, what this card is saying in relation to your power and your inner strength, it's saying that you hold that strength within, you hold that power within, but right now you are not allowing yourself, some of you are not allowing yourself to see the power that you hold within. You are doubting yourself with this card upside down, the High Priestess upside down. Some of you are doubting your intuition. Your intuition is the compass to this inner strength, but I feel some of you are doubting your intuition here. So let's pick another card. So again, the cards are upside down. So this is the card of the Queen of Cups. And this makes sense too, because if you are doubting yourself, if some of you are doubting yourself, you're also doubting the self-worth. So this is a card of, this is the Queen. This is a card of the Queen of Cups. She is the Queen of Waters. She's the Queen of Cups. This is a loving Queen. She is self-love personified. If we want to say, she is self-love personified. So it makes sense as a follow-on from this card that if you are doubting yourself, you're also not loving yourself. And therefore, the power that you give, the power that you have, your inner strength is giving away, is leaking out to the outward. The inner strength is leaking to the outward. So let's pick up the 3rd card, and the 3rd card is Justice. So, and this also make sense. All of the cards are lining up. So this is the card of Justice. Number 11, the Scale of Balance, the Justice card. So when all of the elements are out of balance, all of the elements of intuition, some of you are not listening to your intuition enough. You know that you hold a wisdom, but you are not listening to your intuition in terms of your inner strength, trusting your inner strength and your personal power. So these are the key ingredients for inner strength and personal power. Your intuition is one of them. The ability to love yourself is another. When these two are not in alignment, it creates an imbalance, which is the Justice card upside down. So what does the collective. What do you then need to do in order to bring this into balance? Because this card is almost like 1 plus 1 is equal to 4 here. So this is what it's reading. 1 plus 1 is equal to 4, and they're not balancing out. So let's get a message. Let's get a message for what is needed. What can you do? What can the collective do? So this is a reading for the collective in taking their power back, unleashing the power of the wisdom within. And this is self-mastery, self-growth. So what can the collective do? What can you do today to bring those into balance? And we're also heading towards the end of the year. So this is a time for stock taking, re-evaluation. Stock taking, review, re-evaluation, retrospection. So when you're doing your stock taking, all the R's, when you're doing re-evaluation, introspection, taking stock generally in your experience, this is what Spirit is asking for. So we're going to radical rebirth. Wow. So there's a radical rebirth. So a radical rebirth. And this makes sense too with the astrological configuration, because we've just entered the retrograde. Mercury just entered into the retrograde, and in its darker phase. And in the Mercury darker phase, this is where we let the old die. This is where we let go of things, situation, and behavior that are no longer serving us, in order to come into our full power, into our personal power and that self-confidence. We need to let go of what no longer serves us. We need to start focusing within, knowing that you've got the power, the wisdom, trusting on that intuition, trusting on your intuition as your inner guide, as your guide. And also loving yourself unconditionally, no matter what. Loving yourself, appreciating self, bringing that love to self, instead of constantly pouring your cup into things and situations that no longer serve. And finally, what then begins to happen is that we then begin to come into that inner balance, that truth, the truth of the mind and heart, balancing, working with the mind and heart, coherence with the mind and heart. So working with our innate ability to come into that balance, that's justice state. And what then happens in that state is that there's a full transformation that happens. A radical rebirth is what comes out of that process. And we are rebirth. And this is the energy that we want to take into the new year and during this Mercury retrograde period. The retrogrades are periods of time where we review actions and things that no longer serve us. They pop up, they bob up to the surface. So this is the time for us to begin to review those things in line, in accordance with our goals that we are taking forward. Come into balance for that radical rebirth, which brings forth your inner power and strength.